Yo, what's going on, boys? Sekapoko here, bringing another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. For this, we're going to be going over the Do I Pull This Sugofest article that I wrote for Boris's brand new website at YOLOpull.com. So if you have not checked it out yet, go ahead and check out YOLOpull.com. This is an amazing website that Boris has created in order to give all OPTC streamers as well as players the ability to upload content for One Piece Treasure Cruise, Dokkan Battle, Naruto Ninja Blazing, and many more gacha games to come. So it's a really good forum for people to write articles and give lots of input for new players and old players. So if you are a new player looking into One Piece Treasure Cruise, one of the things that you want to know is that gacha games are a big clickbait pull, so you've got a lot of things going here. And when I first started playing about a year ago, a little over a year ago now, I watched Boris stream and actually thought, hey, how do I play this game? Like, what do I do? Like, where do I pull my Sugofest? Like, I didn't know what to do. So I took a lot of his advice early on, and that has actually spurred out a lot of the information that I have gotten to and where I am in the future, as well as where I am today. So if you don't know who I am, and this is the first video you're ever watching from me, I have, in the last ranking event that just came out, I'm a top 500 player on the hardest content in the game, and I've also done one world first already when it comes to the 20th anniversary Straw Hat Island. I've also done some of the OP teams that have already come out there on One Piece Treasure Cruise. I'm a big content creator for that, so if you're first time here, I'm definitely a good source of information for you guys. So if you are looking to know what is going on with One Piece Treasure Cruise and what you should do as far as pulls go, now the first thing we have to go over is there are two different things that you need to know about pulls. You should only do pulls based on either the type of Sugofest and where you are in the game. Those are the two things right there. Those two things are what decide if you should pull or not pull. Now, the first type of Sugofest that is out there, of the 6 major types of Sugofest, is a new legendary or new batch unit. The next is going to be an anniversary. The third is going to be a choose your own. The fourth is going to be New Year's, and the fifth, guaranteed legend, and the last, all gold. Now, each of these types on Japan bleed into each other, and there actually can be multiple types. So you could be an anniversary Sugofest with all gold, which happens a lot. It could be choose your own Sugofest with all gold. It could be choose your own Sugofest with guaranteed legends. It could be new legendary batch with guaranteed legends. It could be a lot of different things. So on One Piece Treasure Cruise Japan, it has definitely changed for the better, so that we are getting a lot more hype events for Sugofest, and they're definitely getting more and more hype. So on One Piece Global, One Piece Treasure Cruise Global, it is not as bled through, where you can get all gold and then another type of Sugofest at the same time. You get choose your own, maybe all gold. You might get anniversary with all gold, but there's no guaranteed legends yet on One Piece Treasure Cruise Global, which should come very, very soon, if it is going to come at all. Now, there are many different types of players out there. Now, to go over this, I'm going to be sorting players by pirate level as well as where they are in the game. And usually pirate level determines exactly where you are in the game. It's going to just tell you exactly what you should do based on your pirate level, as well as what characters you have in your account. Now, where you are in the game, as well as what type of Sugofest is out, is definitely the #1 way of figuring out when you should pull or not. Now, if you're One Piece Treasure Cruise Japan player, do not do any single pulls, only do multi-pulls. You can get legends on single pulls, but there's a very big reason not to do it. It's because you can get guaranteed legends on multi-pulls. Very, very, very important. So to go into this, the first type of character is a beginner or a reroll character. This section of the guide is for you. If you are just starting One Piece Treasure Cruise, or you're re-rolling for a new OPDC account, you're typically between level 1 to 100, depending on where you are in reading this article. Now, if you're re-rolling for an account, I recommend you re-roll on a new batch character or a new legendary Sugofest, or you should be even rolling on a choose your own Sugofest, depending on what you believe the best time is. Now, those are the best times for new players to re-roll, because if you are going to re-roll on those Sugofests, you're going to get the most current units that are going to be really, really good for you for a very long time. So just know that if you're pulling on those Sugofests, they kind of link together, and those units are very, very good if you get a lot of them. So if you're pulling hard on a Sugofest, trying to start out really, really strong on one account, and you're doing multi-pulls on one Sugofest and grinding out a lot of story mode in like 1 to 2 days to get a really good account, this is where you should be pulling. on a new unit Sugofest or a choose your own Sugofest, depending on what's going on. They have the most up-to-date characters, and they're going to give you the best chance of striking your account. Now, a lot of people think you should be pulling on Anniversary in order to get a new legendary account. I say no. The reason I say no is because you want to build out your account before the anniversary, because the anniversary or New Year's have a lot of really cool events inside of them as well. So just know that if you're going to play this game, try to reroll before the anniversary and then do the events while you're doing the anniversary. Now, if you are going to be doing the anniversary pull, or you're going to be doing New Year's and trying to get a lot of really good units there, just know that it's okay to reroll on those. It's going to be a really good Sugofest for you. You're going to have lots of really cool stuff to do there, so it is a very good time to reroll. But most of the stuff in anniversaries comes before the Sugofest, so it's usually better to reroll before rather than after. So should you pull early on in the game, after you reroll on your Sugofest character, do not do any multi pulls. Save your freaking gems. If you have 1 to 2 legends on your account, okay, you are good to go. Just play the game. Do story mode, do Fortnites. You are probably fine. You can just grind out that stuff. That stuff's going to be a grind either way, so you're just going to have to do it. If you want to commit to the game and actually play the game, this is what you need to do to succeed. You need to play the game. You need to spend your gems on stamina refills, try to use your stamina efficiently on half stamina events, etc. And try to get all the raid boss characters that you can if you can do them already. But if you can't do them, don't feel like it's bad. If you're under pirate level 100, it's very difficult to raid bosses, so just try to do Fortnites as well as story mode in order to level up your account. Now, try to be as efficient with your stamina as possible here so that you know what to do. Now, the next Sugofest you should be pulling on is going to be the Anniversary or New Year's Sugofest. Those are the only 2 times you really should pull. New batch units or new Sugos or new units, maybe even choose your own Sugos, are not for you. Do not pull on those again once you have your account with 1 to 2 legends on it and a decent batch of golds. It's not for you. Raid boss ready people, if you're just starting to max level your characters and you're really starting to max up your legendary characters, you maybe have 1 skilled up legend and 1 max docketed legend, you're pretty set right now. You're in a good spot. So just know that you're probably going to be able to do a decent amount of content with that character. And you should be able to start doing some raid bosses very easily. Now, if you should you pull at this point in the game when you're between pirate level 100 and 200? Honestly, I think no. I am thinking that 100% of the time, if you're between pirate level 100 and 200 and you're not like a super pay-to-win player, or you don't have lots of money coming in that you want to put into the game, save your gems, dude. This is really the time of the game where you should be grinding out raid bosses. You should be grinding out Fortnites as best you can. This is that time. This is the most crucial time for your account where you're getting a large influx of gems from Bandai that were free in the game already, and you're building out your account. This is that time. You need to use this time to make your account better. The One Piece Treasure Cruise is not like a lot of other games where if you pull on the Sugofest, your account's going to get better. It's actually better to grind out Fortnites to get your characters more skilled up, as well as grind out raids, because those characters are going to be used in your legendary teams. So just know that is the best time for you guys to farm raid bosses, not the best time for you to be doing Sugo pulls. I highly recommend that you do not do Sugo pulls here. When you're between 100 and 200, do your best to save for an anniversary or a New Year Sugo. Those are the only 2 times you should pull if you are going to pull at all. Intermediate players. This is for pirate levels between 150 to 225, and if you're using Neptune, it can be all the way up from 150 all the way to 260, depending on where you are. Now, this is where people are really starting to like get through content. You're starting to have more of an established account, but at this point, you're like, hey, you know what? I have some raid bosses maxed. I maxed out Don Flamingo, I most important raid boss, and I maxed out Mihawk, so I can do a lot of different content. So I have HP cuts, I can do some other raids. So you're starting to be pretty well off here. Your account's okay. But when you get to Colosseums, you're like, oh man, these are really hard. I don't know what to do. So at this point in the game, if you're like trying to work on Whitebeard Forest and you're in that middle zone, really what you should be doing is doing multi-pulls, actually. If you've been grinding for a while and your account already has a max Flamingo and max Mihawk, and you're having a tough time clearing content, wait for a good Sugo then pull. This is a good time for you to pull. Until you have max Dofi and max Mihawk and maybe a few other raid bosses like Kuma or so, then probably not best time to pull, but once you have those done, then it's okay. It's probably okay for you to pull. I would recommend waiting for anniversary or New Year's if you can. Do your best to wait for those. You're gonna have the best luck there. The rates for those are way better than any other Sugofest, and you're gonna be much happier that you saved your gems for those events, even though they are a long wait. Now, the next section of players is going to be Colosseum Ready people. These are people that are maxed out most of the important raid bosses, if not all of the important raid bosses, like Boa, Kizaru, Kuma, Mihawk, Doflamingo, all those, and there's a couple other ones as well as Raid Sabo. You've already maxed out your Raid Sabo at this point. You're there. Typically, your power level 200 to 300, maybe even 200 to 350 with Neptune, depending on how fast you're grinding out XP with your XP ship or not. Most of or all of your legendary characters have max skill up and max socket, but you haven't maxed your legends without skill books yet. You're kind of in that zone where you're just about to take off to be a extremely good player. You're in the I'm really good at this game, but I'm not like just at that I don't know, like super good level where you can just like do whatever you want. And you do some good invasions here, and you really, I don't really want to use Hiryu, but I guess I have to in a moment. And you're clearing some forests and have some unique ships here, which is really good. This is where you are in the game. Now, if this is you, the question is not at this point if you should pull, it's when you should pull. The best time for you to pull at this point is if you have a solid amount of legendary characters, like you have somewhere between 2 to 5 legendary characters and a decent amount of captains, and you feel confident in your captains. Then you should be pulling on all gold Sugofests or new batch Sugofests. If you are not confident in your captains, you need to be waiting for guaranteed legend Sugofests, anniversaries, and New Year's. You're always waiting for anniversary and New Year, no matter what. But guaranteed legends is much better for you if you're looking for captains. Wait for the opportune moment. Don't pull on every single Sugofest. Try to find the captain that you want the best. New unit Sugofests are not a good time to get new captains. Do not pull for those for new captains. This is not the Sugofest for you. If you're pulling for a guaranteed legend Sugofest or like a choose your own Sugofest or all gold, those would probably be the best times for you to pull depending on where you are in the game. The new batch units are definitely not your time. This is not your time. Once you get to invasion ready and you're basically ready to clear invasions with pretty much every Colosseum that drops or any raid boss that drops and you're like, I got this, no problem, that's the time. That is it, where you are basically saying, hey, I'm an advanced player of this game. I can clear a 30-stamp Colosseum like that. If I can't clear it, then I can find a team that will clear it, and I'll max out characters. You're pretty much good. And most of the forces are done at this point, except for maybe Kizaru, Blackbeard, and Law. You're having a little trouble with those because they are just really stupidly hard. And you're in the shoot-eyed pull stage, and you're like, I don't really know. You already know what you want, but I highly recommend if you're at this stage of the game, new batch Sugofests are the best for you. Guaranteed Legend Sugofests, I guess so, but I really think new batch Sugofests are the best for these types of players. Players that are already really set on their accounts, and their accounts are solid. So if you need a new character, it should be a new gold character, not a new legendary character. Because if you need a new legendary character, you're already saving for anniversary. You already know where you're at. If you're trying to get new characters, go for golds, man. Do not go for legendaries, go for golds. This is that time for you. Now, the last tier of player is the Shattered Fortress. You are literally trying to figure out how to make your teams faster. If you've ever been at the point in the game where like 14 turn cooldowns are too long and you're like, how do I make this faster? What does this better? How do I do this even faster? And you're not trying to clear it like that. It's just... If you're at that point in the game where you feel if you stall more than like one turn, or even if you stall one turn, you feel like a failure or the team is not good enough, this is basically the point of the game where you already know where you want to pull, and you just want to pull in every new batch that you see or any guaranteed Legend Sugofest. That's basically where you guys are at. This is where I'm at as well, so this is like new batches are great for me for golds. I can do the guaranteed stuff for legends. I can do like ranking events for legends if I want to. This is that. It's a weird place to be, but hey, this is a great place to be for So if you get here, the place I pull on Sugofest at this point, for me, is new batch units are really, really good for me. I want the golds. I don't pull for the legends because I can get legends other ways. Legends are easy to come by for me because if I'm going to get one, I'm going to do an event for a legend. I'm going to go figure out how to get other characters, other ways for Sugo for them. I'm going to save for guaranteed Sugos. What I'm going to do, I already know what I'm going to do at this point. That's the 400 plus people. Now, if you're a collector in this game, you're going to just basically pull in everything. You're going to Pokemon it up. Got to catch them all. And if you're a double chappy player, you're really just going to pull no matter what I say. So, it doesn't really matter. But at the end of the day, it's completely up to you when you want to pull. So I hope this guide is going to help you out in figuring out when the best time to pull is. Well, I am Sekapoko, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do enjoy the video, please hit the like and subscribe button down below. And of course, have a great rest of your day. Peace.